parasite. The Grey episode 4 begin with Jun-kyung blinded by rage as she tells all the officers around her that Suin is a parasite. However, they've done tests and Chulmin demands they tell the truth and reveal this to the whole police force. Team Grey then reluctantly reveal that Suin actually has no signs of a parasite inside her. Suin is currently in a coma and seemingly no harm to anyone. The authorities, however, decide they need to step up and are going to inform the public about what's happening with the parasites to gain some semblance of control. I mean, given how public these parasites have been at attacking humanity, it's a wonder that this isn't bigger news already. Anyway, I digress. Suin is going to be transferred to HQ so they can keep an eye on her and do a detailed and thorough study to see if she actually is parasite-free. The transfer operation will be led by none other than Jun-kyung. The officers at Namil are also told to cooperate fully with Team Grey, much to Chulmin's disdain. Meanwhile, we get our first look at Heidi, not Miggy, as she communicates with Suin inside her subconscious. She in the place her spirit dwells, and Heidi believes this is the perfect place to have a conversation, as they're not likely to have this opportunity again. Heidi shows Suin her old house from the past and the day her dad was reported to the police. She summoned the courage to live that day after being beaten, but everyone looked at her like a monster for reporting her own father. Suin was ostracized from society as a result, and that explains why she's so reserved and working at the store. Suin, alone, met with her birth mother, but unfortunately she likened Suin to a bug, and with her new family, essentially abandoned Suin on her own. This explains the money she hands over and telling her never to show up again. Elsewhere, Chulmin is filled in on Kang-woo and how he's been used by the gangs as a pawn to do their dirty work. However, he's been causing trouble in the local area, so Chulmin decides to head out and meet him before he disappears again. Kang-woo is not happy and prepares to board a bus out of town. He's incredulous that there's no news about the parasite, but as he takes his seat, Chulmin shows and takes off with him. In the car, Kang-woo points out that Won-seok is the suspect who killed the hunting dog. Chulmin is shocked and wants to know the full story and how he's wrapped up in this mess with Suin. He brings up Heidi's connection and how it protects her when things get hairy. Hearing all of this, Chulmin decides they need to bust Suin out of this. He also promises to protect him too. Kang-woo has a choice and chooses the cowardly option, deciding to walk away. Chulmin calls him a coward, scathingly recapping everything he's done in his life and how he needs to gain some courage and make a stand. It does the trick, and Chulmin gets his inside man. While this is going on, Won-seok rings the pastor and brings all the details up about the transfer and the task force. The transfer time is coming up and everything is geared for a dramatic confrontation. While the parasites move in, Chulmin tasks Kang-woo with breaking into the police station and disguising himself as one of the elite transfer crew. This coincides with an earlier scene we saw of Kang-woo infiltrating the task force, and now we have a lot more context over how that went down. Anyway, while Kang-woo is riding up top with Suin, who is still comatose, Won-seok and Chulmin happen to be driving together. There's a rather unnerving moment between the pair, where they discuss church and Chulmin knowingly turns to his friend and tells him he'd never go with him to the church. Unfortunately, the transfer goes wrong as there's an accident on the highway and the parasites begin attacking. Jun-kyung shows with the others and they begin fighting, but there are numerous parasites and they seem to be winning. The truck Suin is kept on comes to a stop partway up the highway when the parasites kill the drivers. Kang-woo takes the opportunity to exit out the back and grab the key to free Suin, but Jun-kyung gets involved and tries to fight. Kang-woo does come out on top though and frees Suin from her gray helmet and her comatose state. The situation with Heidi ends with the parasite giving Suin a pep talk, pointing out that she's never been alone. The pair take off together and Chulmin look over and sees Suin from afar. He and Won-seok follow. But there's a problem. Won-seok knows that his colleague has clocked him. Won-seok brings Chulmin to the hideout and points out that he goes to Saejin Church and he's sick of being pushed around. He's a traitor to humanity and believes they need to open the door and let them in. Unfortunately, when the pastor shows up, Chulmin doesn't hesitate to shoot him. In retaliation, the parasite slices Chulmin's head clean off. Suin shows up just in time to see the parasite infect Chulmin and turn him. A fight breaks out between the two, but it's a stalemate, especially as the pastor's parasite is now inside Chulmin. Kang Woo shows and manages to escape with Suin, but Chulmin is still very much alive and seemingly plots his next move. If you're watching this channel for the first time, hit the subscribe button and watch other episodes. Until then, it's me, Mitsubishi, signing off.